The next tool to improve your fitness is called exercise snacks. And as the name suggests, this is a fun one and was suggested by Dr. Andy Galpin as a way to either enhance or maintain your fitness depending on how your core or foundational fitness program is going. So when I say core, I don't mean your abs. I mean whether or not you're getting your regular cardio and your regular resistance training. If you were to add one or several of these exercise snacks per week, it can further improve things like VO2 max, muscular endurance, etc. I'll talk about the specific snacks that you will be doing in a moment. However, as Dr. Andy Galpin also pointed out, there are times in which we happen to not be following our foundational fitness program, either because work demands or family demands, or we're traveling. We're simply not keeping up with our basic routine. And under those conditions, exercise snacks are a terrific way to maintain the fitness that you've already built and developed. And you don't lose any ground in a week, say, where you get particularly busy. Now, exercise snacks can take on a variety of different forms, but for sake of simplicity and clarity, today we're going to divide them into two major categories. The first category are exercise snacks that are going to improve or maintain your cardiovascular fitness. So your ability to run or cycle or row some distance, say, 12 minutes or longer. Okay, but keep in mind, these exercise snacks are very, very brief. They don't require that you do them for 12 minutes or longer. What they're going to do is either maintain or enhance the type of endurance that allows you to continue in an activity for 12 minutes or longer. The second category of exercise snack relates to muscular endurance. Muscular endurance is a very important aspect of fitness. And even though some people are already training for muscular endurance, it's something that most people are not doing enough training for. Muscular endurance is your ability, say, to maintain a wall sit or to maintain a plank or to do the maximum number of push-ups that you can do in one session, the sort of, drop to the floor and give me as many push-ups as you possibly can type of thing, or as many sit-ups as you can type of thing. Muscular endurance translates to a number of other aspects of fitness, and it's something that we should all be working on. And again, many people just don't make space for it in their regular routine. So now we have these two categories of exercise snacks. One geared toward enhancing or maintaining your cardiovascular fitness as it translates to longer duration endurance activity, so 12 minutes or longer. And then the other category is purely muscular endurance, which is essentially some bout of exercise that's going to be fairly brief, anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes, but certainly less than 12 minutes. Okay, so let me give you an example of an exercise snack for enhancing your long duration endurance, 12 minutes or longer. And this is the sort of thing that if you are going to incorporate into your routine, and I highly recommend that you do, can essentially be done anytime with no warm-up. A good example of an exercise snack of this type would be to suddenly stand up from your desk and to do 100 jumping jacks. Now, depending on how fit you are and how fast you do those jumping jacks and how wide and tall you do those jumping jacks, meaning, are you doing these kind of little things where your hands don't actually meet and you're like parting your legs just a little bit, or are you doing full jumping jacks where you're really jumping and, setting your feet out as wide as you comfortably and safely can, and then bring your hands together. It could take you anywhere from 30 seconds to 90 seconds. Okay. So in the case of jumping jacks, you may end up doing this for 90 seconds, but the point is to simply do 100 jumping jacks. Or if that takes too long, you could even do just 25 or 50 jumping jacks. The point is that it's going to get you moving your muscles. It's going to get your heart rate up. Okay, even if you're very, very fit, if you're doing these fast enough and you're doing them with proper form, it's going to get your heart rate up. And then you're done. You can sit back down to your desk, or you can continue to walk through the airport. Yes, I've done these in the airport, typically not while walking toward my gate, but at the gate. But occasionally I'm feeling lethargic, or I haven't had the opportunity to train that day, and perhaps I won't get the opportunity to train. So I'll do something like 100 jumping jacks while facing the window, so it feels a little less awkward facing people while you're doing them. And of course, you don't have to do jumping jacks. An equally effective type of exercise snack is to find a stairwell and to simply go up that stairwell as fast as you safely can for 20 to 30 seconds. So perhaps just find the bottom of a stairwell and go up that stairwell as quickly as you can, and perhaps go down as quickly as you can, and just keep doing that for about 20 to 40 seconds, and then you're essentially done. Okay? You could also opt to pick some distance away from your car in the parking lot, assuming you're not carrying any heavy bags or anything, and simply run to your car. So 20 to 30 seconds of not necessarily all out sprinting. You don't want to injure yourself because, again, this is done without a warm-up. These exercise snacks are designed to be inserted into your day and into your week, essentially at random. You could plan them if you want, but anytime you feel inspired, or perhaps anytime you're feeling like you don't want to do one, you could simply do one of these exercise snacks. And of course, doing jumping jacks, or running to your car, or taking the stairs very quickly up and down, or just up and then walking down, for instance, and doing a few jumping jacks. Things of that sort, of course, can take on a near infinite number of different variations. So if you don't like any of the variations that I just presented, you can easily come up with something else. Again, the purpose of these exercise snacks is to get your heart rate up. It's, of course, to do this while not getting injured, and it is entirely compatible with an existing exercise program. It in no way is going to impede your performance in strength or hypertrophy or other forms of long-form endurance or high-intensity interval training. Quite to the contrary. Everything we know about these exercise snacks is that they enhance various aspects of your physiology in ways that promote both recovery and performance in your other types of exercise and your other types of athletic endeavors. So no reason to think that they are going to be problematic for your training. But of course, don't trip, don't fall, don't undertake a movement that puts you into a range of motion that has you hurting your back, your knee, or any other part of your body. Start off slowly and find something that really works for you. So these are very easy. They take very little time. They're fun, to be honest. And as was discussed in the conversation with Dr. Andy Galpin, they're also very effective. The second category of exercise snack are the exercise snacks that enhance muscular endurance. So muscular endurance is the type of endurance that allows you to maintain a fixed position for some period of time, usually somewhere between 1 and 3 minutes. But these endurance bouts are never going to last 12 or more minutes unless you are exceptionally evolved in terms of your muscular endurance abilities. What I'm talking about here are things like planks, wall sits, maximum number of push-ups, things of that sort. And this is an aspect of fitness that translates to other aspects of fitness in a very important way. And again, this was covered in the exercise series with Dr. Andy Galpin. I don't want to go into any of the details now because it was all covered there. It's very easy to look up because it's time-stamped. But just in brief, muscular endurance allows the buildup of more microvascular supply to muscles and connective tissue in a way that allows delivery and removal of more nutrients and waste products. Now, I realize to the physios, things like nutrients and waste products is far too broad a category, but what we're talking about here is the ability to deliver more fuel and oxygen and to remove waste products of muscular effort, or to be more specific, neuromuscular effort. This is a great thing because it can help you enhance your strength training, enhance your hypertrophy training, enhance your long distance endurance and your middle distance and even your short distance endurance. And these exercise snacks for building muscular endurance are exceedingly easy to do. And you can even do them while talking on the phone, especially if you're using headphones or if you have your phone on speaker. A good example of an exercise snack for muscular endurance would be a 30 to 60 second or perhaps longer wall sit. So remember wall sits. Wall sits are, as the name suggests, where you put your feet out some distance from a wall, you squat down into a seated position, but there's no chair there, and then you maintain that seated position, and that is harder to do over time. Okay, you could lean back against the wall a little bit harder if you wanted to gain some extra support and continue, but the idea here is that you're going to go not necessarily to muscular failure, but to the point where you can't continue to sit in that wall sit position. You could also simply do this as an air squat down to the bottom position where you're comfortable. And then you don't want to rest down there, meaning you want to maintain some tension in your quadriceps and other muscles of your lower body so that you're actively trying to support yourself in the seated position, but without a seat below you. That can be done, again, while on a speakerphone conversation. That can be done at random throughout the day. You can just decide, okay, I'm going to do a wall sit now, and I'm going to time myself. I'm going to see how long I can do this for. Or you could decide to do a plank. I've done this while on a phone call. Sorry if it was you that I was talking to, but I put the phone on speaker and just gotten into a plank position, and then I'll just have the conversation in the plank position. I don't fight to maintain that plank position past the point where I could continue to have a conversation. So again, this is a type of exercise that one is trying to incorporate into their daily routine. If you wanted to dedicate a specific amount of time just to doing these exercise snacks, you could, but it's far more reasonable to assume that people will incorporate these into their daily routine more regularly if you can incorporate it truly into the other aspects of your routine, like work. You do this while watching TV or listening to a podcast. One form of muscular endurance exercise snack that's really terrific and is a bit of a challenge that's fun is to just simply see how many push-ups you can do. And we talked about proper push-up form during the episode series with Dr. Andy Galpin. But here what we're talking about is chest all the way to the ground, so it touches the ground, then pushing up till your arms are completely straight. That's one push-up. And then continuing in piston-like fashion, meaning you're not pausing at the top and taking a bunch of breaths. You're not going to a plank position, in other words, but continuing to do as many push-ups as you can to see whether or not you can enhance that number over time. And in any case, just to simply get your body working to engage the muscles of your chest, your shoulders, your triceps, and your core, etc. And to do that every once in a while. So instead of needing somebody to say, drop and give me 20, just see whether or not at some point, any point throughout the day, you can get into a push-up position, do your maximum number of push-ups, and then just mentally note that number to yourself. Again, these exercise snacks serve multiple roles. They're designed to get you moving, to get your heart rate going, to maintain or enhance your fitness in other domains of fitness. And this is very important, to not take too much time out of your schedule. In fact, like zone 2 cardio, right, being the type of movement that you're just going to do a lot throughout the week, carrying groceries, et cetera, as we discussed earlier, these exercise snacks are designed to be incorporated into your daily life. And I must say that having started doing these after recording the series with Dr. Andy Galpin, I've noticed two things. First of all, including these exercise snacks at least once a week, and more like 3 to 5 times a week for me. So that's one exercise snack done 3 to 5 times per week, has definitely correlated with improvements in my fitness in other domains of fitness, strength, hypertrophy, long distance endurance, etc. Now, I've changed a number of other things as well as a consequence of that series with Dr. Andy Galpin. So I can't say for sure that it's the exercise snacks per se that are causing all those positive shifts. I have to imagine that it's not just the exercise snacks, but they've become an important part of my routine. And that relates to the second point, which is that the exercise snacks are designed to be fun and easy. And so I really enjoy doing them, so much so that if I don't do one for a couple of days, I start to crave them a little bit, kind of like the other kind of snack.